there, and welcome to part 2 of my Attack of Black Friday unboxing extravaganza catastrophe of insane numbers of movies and television. Took a bit of break for dinner, watched a movie, one of my new releases. You'll have to wait for next episode of Some Dumb Watch to find out which. But as the evening rolls on, we've got another box. The first of so far 3 boxes to go through. We'll see how long it takes me to do so and how many others will roll in the meantime, building it up. So without further ado, we do away with packing list. And our first selection from this box, this will all be from Groove, by the way. A 4K release from this year. Had a lot of fun with it in the theater. It is with slipcover, 4K of Fall Guy. This contains the extended cut, which obviously not having seen that in the theater, that will be new for me. This one was a fun ride, silly. Emily Blunt, Ryan Gosling, great chemistry between the two of them. Great time with this one. Very little loose tangential connections to the Fall Guy television series from the 80s. Almost to be non-existent. So recycling a name, not so much anything else. That's okay. It didn't have to be. Had some good times with it. Number 2. Interesting that this did not come with a slipcover, being a very new release from early this year. I am looking for a date because 4K, that's copyright 2024. Huh. Not that I usually care about slipcovers, and I really don't, but still surprised and disappointed sometimes when they don't come with one when they should. This is the 4K release of Dune Part 2. Now that I have both of these, I will do a double feature watch at some point. I have the unique virtue of having tried to watch the first part of Dune 3 times. Twice in the theater and once at home. I've yet to make it through that movie without falling asleep. Part 2, when I saw it in the theater, did not fall asleep. So, I guess it has that going for it. I can't stand Zendaya. I think she's terrible for the role. I think she's a terrible actress overall. Aesthetically, this film is beautiful. Cinematography, beautiful. I still maintain after going through these that these are a terrible adaptation of the novel Dune, which I am a huge fan of. It's one of the few novels I've actually read twice in my life, and having gone through several other adaptations, I still prefer the extended edition of the 1984 Dune that David Lynch disowned. Somehow in approximately half the runtime between the two of these combined, that film manages to get more of the appropriate story integrated and more of the world building done than these two were able to accomplish, and that is bizarre in itself. Moving on, for another 4K theatrical viewing I had this year, comes with the Beekeeper, Jason Statham. Mindless, fun action in typical Jason Statham fashion. I have this kitty here that is trying to squirm her way into my box because she can, and because she's a kitty, and because it's a box. What are you doing, silly girl, huh? You're in the way. But that's okay because you're cute. Here you go. Yeah, so wondering if they're going to turn this into a franchise or not. There was definite potential. I thought the ending was anticlimactic, but otherwise I really enjoyed this one. Had some fun with it in the theater. Excuse me, kitty. Another 4K. This one is a blind buy. The first out of this box. older, somewhat classic film. And we have 4K of Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. If you build it, they will come. If you buy it, I will watch it. And there it is. Moving right along, another 4K of a classic film starring a complete and utter modern-day psychopath, which, as within my last part with Alec Baldwin, will be interesting to see if I'm able to separate actor from real-life persona, and that is the absolute nutcase of Whoopi Goldberg starring in The Color Purple. Also with... See, I always have this problem now. Danny Glover, the other young Glover that has taken the scene. Sometimes I get their names mixed up now. But Danny Glover, always loved that man. Great in everything I see him do. He stands out in this movie far more than she ever did. Also starring, or co-starring anyway, crazy delusional actor turned also nutcase, Oprah Winfrey. This will be an interesting ride, to be sure. Moving on, we have a 4K upgrade of a film I already have the Blu-ray of, and I would not have normally done this as an upgrade if not for getting a really great price on the 4K. Did I see this in the theater? I did. I believe this is from 2015, so a little ways back. Yes. Dwayne Johnson in San Andreas with the lovely, sexy Carla Gugino. And what was her name? Oh, you're not even going to be in the credits, are you? Dwayne Johnson and Carla Gugino here. And we have Alexandria Daddario as well. Also very lovely young lady. More mindless romp, nonsensical stuff, but a great, blurry, a great catastrophic, apocalyptic type film. Good times. Much better than 2012, which I recently went through. Okay. Blind Buy time. This is a recent film. I want to say in the last 2 years, and I don't think I'm going to find a date on this one because the print is far too fine and it's gold on a black background. So, and the plastic wrap around it, I can't quite read it. So, another Ryan Gosling film in 4K, First Man, which I had heard many good things about upon its release. I thought this came out about 2021 or so, but I'm not 100% sure on that, and I can't read it to confirm. So, I'll look it up at some point, or get a magnifying glass, or just watch the thing, whichever comes first. Last but not least, one more blind buy on 4K. This film comes from... Why on 4K so they make the dates so darn hard to find, even on the best of circumstances? 2007 I see a date on. I don't know if that's accurate or that's just for something about this release, but that's the only date I'm seeing on here. Ben Affleck, Jason Bateman, Common, Andy Garcia, Alicia Keys, Ray Liotta, Jeremy Piven, Ryan Reynolds. What a loaded cast. We have 4K of Smoking Aces. Not seen, don't even know what it's about. Just it's allegedly, I think it's a stylized action film. And that's it. Coming in brief, ladies and gentlemen. If I can maintain that, we can get through the rest of these in no time. Calling it a night. It's going on 11 o'clock. We're shutting it down. Incoming part 3, 4, 5. I have no idea how this is going to end up. But I'm going to bed. I will edit later and post. Thank you once again for joining me. Please stay tuned for the rest. And I will see you in the next video. Good night. Take care for now. Bye-bye.